Good evening, sir. Thank you for agreeing to do this interview with me. Kanang ano na siya, this recorded interview will serve as our output for our NSTP course.
Mm.
I have a few questions prepared for you kanang regarding citizenship in your line of work. Now, kanang I've heard that you're not only a teacher but also an author and a researcher. So, I assume nga you have some insight regarding citizenship. At mag-start na ko sa question one, sir. What do you think makes a good citizen?
I am a very idealistic person, so a good citizen for me is the one who always abides with the law, and that's very important to me.
In your line of work, sir, sa katusilang fields, how do you practice good citizenship? I mean, I'm sure nga it's obvious naman nga in teaching, writing, doing research, murag, these are noble pursuits and you're already contributing a lot sa country based lang sa imong work lang daan. So iba ko'y wala na mention about sa about how you practice good citizenship.
As a researcher, I think my contribution to being a good citizen is respecting the laws of the Philippines regarding um, indigenous people's rights. Then every time we're in the community, we always observe the tribal law of that community, and I think that's one manifestation that I am a good a law-abiding citizen and a good citizen for that matter.
I understand nga you've worked with indigenous peoples sa imong research. Nang what do you think we can um what do you think ang ma-learn nato sa ilaha, sir, about good citizenship
Um,
based sa ilang
um,
culture? Mm.
yes, I have been in contact with them since my college days, my undergraduate college years. Then one thing I've noticed is that they're full of respect to their tribal laws and respect to the Constitution of the Philippines, respect to the people who who go to their places for causes like the one we have been into. We're researching about the indigenous knowledge system of the Talaandigs in Talakag and the Higaonons in Malitbog on their plant utilization, cultural plant utilization. And I've noticed that they really are very warm people. They really are very accommodating, very humble. But one thing I've noticed, for instance, there were communities in the hinterlands wherein the basic or the primary education, the basic education, offer only until grades 1 to 3. Should you want to continue grades 4, 5, and 6, you need to take a daily walk of many kilometers, like 10 kilometers one way, then another 10 when they go home. So I think that's not fair for them.
Mm. And despite sa lack sa sir sa mga nila um facilities, despite sa ilang lack of
Mm-mm.
education, kay still mas gaka embody na hinuon nila ang good citizenship compared sa ato ang na-enter sa
Because they have this tribal law, which I think um,
mo ang lacking sa ato.
suffice the challenge of being a good citizen.
On the topic of education,
Mm-hmm.
as as an educator, kanang um, you work mostly with young people, the youth. Um, how do we, sir, how do we encourage the youth to practice good citizenship? How do we help them become good citizens?
You were one of my students yourself,
I
no?
was.
and
Yes,
I
sir.
always and I always inculcate to my students to follow the rules of the Philippines, the rules of the land. No, I think that's very basic a reason. But the
Yes,
very
that's an.
foundation of being a good citizen is to know what are the laws, because our movements always depend on the mandates of the laws.
Has this pandemic made it hard for people to practice good citizenship?
Yes.
Has it been a challenge? Okay.
Yes.
What are your thoughts, man, sir?
Um, I have to be consistent in telling that you need to follow
Mhm.
rules, orders, laws, because I think I need to help the government, flatten the curve, lessen the cases. So I had to stay home, and I've been doing it for the last 30 days. I need to assert what has been mandated.
Ano?
Because of this pandemic,
Mhm.
being a good citizen is affected. No, the violation of the
Kailangan
mandate
kayo.
nga, like number of passengers in a PUJ, wala na siya nasunod. No, um, they're not supposed to go out kanang mga gapamaligya sa streets, but then they need to find a living.
Before pa lang daan kay
Yes.
challenging na kayo maging good citizen, and karon nga time of pandemic mas ni samot kalisod ang situation. Um, na overtime tagamay but
Hala, nang lapas at
um,
pila ta ka minutes.
yeah, sige lang sir. Thank you so much sir sa inyong time. Yeah. Bye.
Si,